Hi everyone. So as you can see, this is question 10 from your tutorial sheet. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to solve question 10, 11 and 12. Yeah. So let me begin. Here question 10 is saying question 10 is telling us to find the volume generated by revolving the given plane about a given line. So what you need to understand here is that when you are dealing with such questions, when finding the area, we used to say area is equal to the integral of y squared, the integral of just y, and then given the limits b and a, then we're integrating this with respect to x. This was the area, but for the volume this time around we're going to be including pi outside. You have to multiply everything that you integrate with pi, and this y has to be squared. So this is the volume. So this is the volume. Having known the formula for the volume, we can now start answering the questions. So within y, they're saying a within y is equal to that, and x is equal to 4. X is equal to 0, and they are saying y is equal to 16 about the x-axis. So first of all, what you need to know on this, what you need to understand here, since we have two lines, if we only had one line, we would have gone directly into integrating and finding the volume. But since we have two lines which have been given here, together with this one, means that there are now three. Since we have two lines, since we have three lines, what we need to know here is we need to first sketch the given lines. So we're going to draw this. Okay, XY plane. Then this is our x-axis, this is our y-axis. So we first start by sketching the curve. First, when sketching the curve, we need to find the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and that's fine. So for the x-intercept, you know that y in the x-axis is equal to 0. So to find the x-intercepts, we're going to put 0 where there is y, and then we write everything the way they are. So meaning when y is equal to 0, x will also be equal to 0. So meaning this curve is cutting the x-axis at 0. It's 0, 0. So when you put y there, so in short, it's cutting the x-axis at 0, 0. Now let's try to see what if our x is equal to 0. We still have y being equal to 0 as well, because when we replace 0 where there's x here, we still get 0 as y. So meaning our x and the y intercept is at 0, 0. Now we need to test this. We need to check it to see whether it's going to be a minimum or a maximum. And then how do you check that? You look at the coefficient of x squared. Is it positive or negative? If it's positive, then it's a minimum. If it's negative, then it's a maximum. So since it's positive, it's a minimum. So in short, our curve is going to come out something like this. It's going to look like this. Then having known that it's maximum and it's minimum, what else are we supposed to do? we need also to we can now sketch. I think we said it's cutting the x and the y axis at 0, 0, so meaning it's going to come out like this. Okay, so having sketched the curve, let us now sketch the lines. X is equal to 0. X is equal to 0 is just this line, and then y is equal to 16. We'll just say 4, 8, 12, 16. We're just making a sketch. So this is the line y is equal to 16. So now if you want to find now these points which we call limits, you want to find this point and that point. If you want to find this point and that point, it's very simple. You just put this you just solve this equation and that equation simultaneously. Then we know that y is equal to 16, meaning while there is y here, we'll just replace with 16. So meaning we're going to have 16 being equal to 4 x squared. So our x squared is equal to 4, meaning these values of x are now just equal to plus or minus 2. So x is just equal to plus or minus the square root of 4, which give you the value of x being equal to 2. Plus or minus 2, sorry. So meaning this is negative 2 and then this is 2. This is 2, not 4. So now to find the volume of generated by these two curves, meaning we're dealing with this region here. Now to find the volume of this region when it has been rotated about the x-axis, we simply use the formula that I showed you earlier on. So let me first erase this so that we use it to find the volume. Okay, so to find the volume generated by this curve and the line, you say volume. We know to say the volume is just given by pi and then integral of y2 squared minus y1 squared with respect to x. Of course, you need to have the lower and the upper limit, so you have your b there, okay, then your a there. So b is supposed to be the upper limit there, and then the lower limit is a. So our volume, according to this situation that we have here, will now just be equal to pi outside there, and then you integrate that. My y1 or my y2 there is the line that is on top, so I'm going to have 16 minus the line that is down is y1, which is 4x squared. So 16 minus 4x squared. Then I'll put my upper limit there is 2, which is this one here. Then my lower limit there is negative 2. Then I'm integrating this with respect to x. So once I integrate this, I'm going to have something like 16x. I'm going to have 16x, then 4x to the power 3, 4x to the power 3 over 3, and then everything we put the limits. We have 2 and negative 2 as our limits. So what we do here again is we proceed now. Oh, there's supposed to be pi outside there. It's just here it's just now the matter of plugging in the limits. So I'm sorry, this one is supposed to be squared, this one is also supposed to be squared. Yeah, I've made a mistake. I'm supposed to square those two before even integrating them. So now this is going to be pi outside the integral, then upper limit 2, lower limit negative 2. So meaning I'm going to be integrating 16 times 16 gives 256. 256 minus, when I square that, I'm going to have 4 times 4 is 16, then x to the power 2 is 16x to the power 4, like that. So this is what I'm going to integrate with respect to x. So when I integrate that, I'll get 256x 256x minus 16 over 5 x to the power 5, and then the limits there, shouldn't forget to put the limits. We have 2 and negative 2. So here now we just plug in the limits. We want to have, we first plug where there is x with positive 2. We start with the upper limit, 16 over 5, then we put 2 there, raised to power 5, write it, and then say minus, you do that, raise 256 negative 2, you put negative 2 now, then minus 16 over 5 negative 2 raised to power 5. So 256 times 2, that gives you 512. And then this is minus, you know that 2 raised to power 2 raised to power 5 is 32. Then you divide that by 5, then multiply it by 16. You get 512 over 5. We move on to this one, this side. So this one we're going to get negative 512, then plus the same, we're going to get, sorry, it's going to be plus, okay, yeah, it's going to be plus, and then this will give us the same number here, which is 512 over 5. So you can see that when you simplify this, you just get 512 plus, first we start with 512 over 5, that one is this one, when you add this one and that one, you get 512, you get 1024 over 5. Of course this is a negative, then you are adding it with 1024. when you add 512 and then this 512, you get 1024, like that. So here it's just a matter of now algebra, following the, just adding them normally. So when you add that with 1024, you get 3000 you get 3072 over 5. 3072 over 5. This is supposed to be units. And then don't forget to put cubed since it's volume. And then remember that whatever that we've been doing here is supposed to be multiplied by pi. So don't forget to put pi. Don't forget to be putting pi. Okay, don't know why it has moved. Okay, don't forget to be putting pi. So meaning even the final answer is supposed to have pi. There's supposed to be pi here. Yeah. So this is how simple these questions are. So I'll solve B. I'll just show you how to solve this in the X and then the Y. Yeah. And then I think you can manage to answer C and D, because they're just as simple as this. We'll proceed to the next question. So B, why has this remained? Right. So B is saying we are rotating this this same curve that we had about the y-axis. So when you are rotating this about the y-axis, it means that our limits will now change. Since the curve was like this, if you remember very well, it looked like this. So our limits will now change. We'll get our limits 0 and 16, and we also need to change our equation here that has been given. Yeah. So this x is equal to 0. X is equal to 0. Yeah, they're saying this is a line, so I'm going to rotate this on this same line. So we can plug in where there's x to find y, so which is 0, 0. We'll still go back to 0, 0. So this same 0, 0, this 0, 0, we're going to say that is the meeting point of a curve and the line x is equal to 0. So now we're trying to find when this region is now being rotated on the x-axis. In the previous question we were rotating it on the y-axis. Now on this one we're rotating it on the x-axis. So meaning our equation is y is equal to 4x squared. So you just change this, you just make x squared the subject. So x squared will just be equal to y over 4. So it's going to be equal to y over 4. So here now it's just a matter again of of integrating that. So the volume is equal to pi, then the integral, the lower limit that we have is 0, the upper limit will be 16, since we're rotating it on the, and I mean about the y-axis, which is this one. So what we do here, we start first with we put our x there, our x squared. So our x squared, so here, in the first question we were squaring y, but in this case x is already squared, so I'm just going to copy the expression, that over 4, and then we subtract this as well, x is equal to 0, which is just the same as writing nothing here. So it's going to be equal to, we're going to integrate that with respect to x. So we're going to have this here. So when you integrate that, you're going to have y squared over 8. Then you put your limit 16 and 0. So our volume is just nothing but equal to what is why you put 16. So you're going to have 16 squared over 8, and then you're going to have 16 squared over 8, and then you have minus, you put 0 there, squared over 8, which is just the same. So my volume there will just give me 256. So 16 squared, we all know to say it's 256. So now this 256, you just divide it by 8, which gives you 32. Cubed. And of course, don't forget to put your pi there. Here there's supposed to be pi, so to be 32 pi units cubed. Let's move on to the next question. See,